This is In the Know for Thursday, May 21, the 141st day of 2026. There are 224 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station, 1039 The Moose, live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app, using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast, on Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. And Barry Williams from ECTC Litchfield will stop by. We'll get caught up with Barry. Saw him at Art in the Park on Saturday. We'll talk about that and more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl, it's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I am so glad it's Little Friday.
Yeah, you're glad that
This
it's
week
Thursday.
has
been long.
yes,
If it's any consolation, next week is a holiday week.
yes.
Do we have a big purchase planned for Memorial Day weekend that you know of?
No, but I'm hoping everybody purchases at Vandalay Industries.
So we can make a big purchase?
Yes.
Well, the reason I ask is, Memorial Day, synonymous, big sales.
Mattress.
I don't know how anybody ever decided, what
Or-
really would pay reverence to Memorial Day. Let's put our grills on sale, or let's put all of our furniture, or our Wayfair, or what. I mean, yes, all the mattress stores, all the everything.
I mean, we might be in the market for outdoor furniture.
Well, we could do that, but we have a very specific kind. Like
That's
there's
true.
a very specific need that we need. So I don't
I'm
know.
sure you're going somewhere with this.
No, I'm just saying
okay.
everything is on sale this
Yeah.
weekend. Sofas, grills, mattresses. Why? I still don't understand. Memorial Day is supposed to be like reverent.
I don't know.
But we treat it like it's the 4th of July. Like, and 4th of July will be here soon enough. He is a 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley and the Sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm just fine. I'm curious to know, do you have a big Memorial Day purchase in mind? Are you buying a grill or a mattress or a myriad things that are on sale for
I hope
Memorial
not.
Day?
I hope not.
You hope not to be making a big purchase. How are you going to spend your Memorial Day? Have you decided yet?
Well, in Muhlenberg County.
Well, okay. That sounds like a good possibility. I'm sure they have plenty of big Memorial Day sales there as well. Stop and get yourself something nice. The rain that we have received over the last 24 to 36 hours has helped to knock down dust, and it has been welcome. We've been fortunate that it's come kind of slow and steady and hasn't been, with these intense downpours. I have not checked the Mesonet to see what our rain total is, but it probably is more just feels good because we're getting rain rather than a substantial amount. But a little perhaps will maybe go a long way. And after we saw our high temperature on Sunday and Monday reaching about 90 degrees, now we're cooling off to end the work week. Today, the further north you get, like they may not get much above 65 in Louisville. I think we'll get to about 70 here between the Twin Lakes. Tomorrow won't be a whole lot warmer, but we will be, we'll probably get to the mid-70s tomorrow. Then for your Saturday, 40% chance of rain and a high of 77. I don't know quite the timing of that rain on Saturday just yet, but there are a few things going on. There's the Memorial Day procession, of course. Miss Alea has a soccer match on Saturday morning as well, so some of the outdoor activities that could be impacted. And then on Sunday, a 20% chance of rain with a high of 82. Your Memorial Day itself looks like a really good chance of rain as well, and a high of 77. Those rain chances kind of linger on into the middle of next week. Finally, like a week from today, 30% chance of rain. And then, Sam, I'm covering up Friday, but that'd be our first peek at graduation forecast. I see that there is a chance of rain at some point on graduation day. Is that right?
30%.
30%. Okay, so
Which this far out, pretty much every day is a 30% chance of rain this time of year.
Yeah, that's true. And I guess that's in ways welcome news because we've got a lot of ground to catch up on rain-wise. Periods of showers mainly across Kentucky today. More widespread rain and some thunderstorms for tomorrow, off and on downpours this weekend. We'll see scattered showers today. We'll call it a high of 70 for us between the lakes. Mostly cloudy, rain late tonight, a low of 60. Early rain tomorrow, some afternoon storms, a high of 73 for your Friday. In every state in the union now, gasoline is the average price of gasoline is above $4 in every state now. The national average is at $4.55. It was $4.51 a week ago. And so it looks like oil traded lower yesterday. I don't know if that will translate to a change in prices or a dip at all, but they continue to be high. And if the situation in the Middle East doesn't resolve itself quickly, it'll be the rest of the year that it'll take to get some of the markets back to where they need to be. The NTSB wrapped up a 2-day hearing in Washington yesterday over the UPS plane crash that killed 15 people last year. And the Associated Press says it might have been prevented if an original inspection schedule hadn't been relaxed, but mechanics didn't get a close look at the parts that should have kept an engine from flying off its wing because federal regulators allowed Boeing to recommend checking them less frequently, according to some testimony that was offered yesterday, which is the second day of the hearing. Some of the things that we learned out of that hearing: first, they weren't even supposed to be on that aircraft. That aircraft was a fill-in. Their original aircraft they were scheduled to take to Hawaii had some type of problem with it or some concern, and so they took all of the cargo off of that plane, put it onto this one, and there must have been a reason that it was available. I don't know if it was a backup or what have you. And we also realized that there's some new video that was better than the original video that we saw that was a little more grainy. There was some higher definition video that shows very clearly that that engine came off of the wing before rotation, like right before rotation, and they never had a chance because of when that came off. They suddenly were one-winged, and with the timing in which that it all happened, it was just a calamity that they weren't going to recover from. The 2-day hearing made clear that key safety information wasn't being shared among everyone involved, and the former crash investigator said the FAA should have been more skeptical about Boeing's request. So what they did is, under the old rule, they were required to do the inspection, which would have discovered this every 19,900 cycles of takeoffs and landings. They changed it to 29,260. And so this aircraft, when it was accelerating down the runway, was on its 21,043rd cycle. So had the rule stayed at 19.9, this would have been discovered. And so it went about 2,000 beyond the normal rule, and then it failed and caused major damage, of course, and 15 lives. All right, a headline from closer to home. A head-on collision in Breckinridge County was caused by a driver swatting at a wasp or hornet. The accident happened on Tuesday afternoon, about 5 o'clock, right in front of Breckinridge County High School there in Harned. Said that the driver of an eastbound vehicle was distracted as he was swatting a wasp or a hornet, causing the vehicle to cross the center line and hit a westbound vehicle head-on. A passenger in the westbound vehicle was transported to the hospital. Neither driver was injured. Very lucky as well. So, I always, until we talk about, worry about sneezing when I'm driving, but luckily I've not encountered a hornet. And then, Sam, do you recall the story I told you about the time that Judge Henderson got attacked by a turkey on the road? Do you know that story?
If you have it is no longer in my memory.
He was driving a Future Designs delivery truck on the Parkway, and hit turkey, came through the windshield. And so it was...
Was it Thanksgiving?
It was dicey. It was nowhere near Thanksgiving, so there wasn't even a silver lining to the whole thing. You'll have to ask him about it sometime. He'll be happy to tell you.
Well, I guess I'll be seeing him in however many hours, because it's
you
fiscal
will be.
court day. That just set into me. Yes, it is fiscal court day.
Later today. You're welcome. You were in blissful denial until just now.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was trying to figure out some things that I was going to be knocking out this evening, but no, now I have to be there at 5 o'clock.
I saw the agenda. It'll be, your average length meeting probably.
No, don't. Did you, see, you can't say that. The minute you say that, that's when it. See, our friend Matt, Matt Lasley from the paper. We have the thing that we're not allowed to make a comment about the length of the meeting because as soon as we say not going to look too bad, that's when we get public comment and and it just decides to go long. So if you jinxed us. We're coming for you. We're coming for you.
Kevin's luck. He'll have a bunch of people there wanting to know why he's not building a playground. The Grayson County Health Department has released the locations of 2 additional free naloxone dispensary locations in Grayson County. The health department says in 2024, Grayson County ranked in the top 10 list of Kentucky counties with the highest non-fatal drug-related overdose visits to emergency rooms. This data validates the need for harm reduction in our local communities. You commonly know it as Narcan. You see it get used. If you watch any of the law enforcement shows, whether it's Live PD or the equivalent, On Patrol or whatever they're calling it now, you can see it gets used in the field by law enforcement and first responders a lot, and is a game changer. But now they have added places like places now include the public library, the probation and parole office, the health department, the Owensboro Health Big Clifty Clinic. You get areas further away from the city of Litchfield that are needed as well. The ER lobby at Owensboro Health, Twin Lakes, et cetera. So you can read all those locations at K105.com. Representative Samara Heverin was recognized alongside 8 of her colleagues in the General Assembly by the Children's Alliance as a champion for children with the organization's Children's Champion Award. The organization highlighted her impact during this last legislative session as the primary sponsor of House Bill 424 and her leadership on House Bill 2, which was signed into law April 10th. House Bill 424 would exempt students or trainees from social work licensure requirements and direct the Kentucky Board of Social Work to promulgate administrative regulations to define supervision standards for student involvement in clinical social work. In brief, she was responsible for legislation that is helping create better access to Representative Heverin's former employer, U.S. Senator Rand Paul, has introduced Legalizing Premium Health Care Act. It's legislation that he says will give Medicare beneficiaries the freedom to see the doctor of their choice. In recent years, burdensome paperwork requirements and declining reimbursement rates have driven thousands of healthcare providers, particularly those in private practice, to leave Medicare. As of March this year, more than 50,000 physicians nationwide had opted out of the program. You take that many out of the system, and there makes the availability much more difficult. So trying to, not sure the status of that or where it might go. Of course, he himself, is a physician. He's an ophthalmologist and knows a little bit about healthcare as well. Governor Beshear, in his weekly report yesterday, was touting the first quarter economically for Kentucky. And, they're obviously trying to find as much good news as possible to kind of offset the Blue Oval SK deal, which, was kind of sidelined there for a while. And it was so well championed by so many for a long time that the hurt was especially more whenever it came along. It's kind of like the Blue Oval SK to the Beshear administration is a lot like the Brady Industries situation to the Bevin administration, kind of something that looked great and promising, and then all of a sudden didn't deliver, and a lot more questions. But now he's trying to direct people's attention to the January 1st through March 31st period of this year. Says that the single largest investment in Western Kentucky history, Global Laser Enrichment, shared plans to develop the Paducah Laser Enrichment Facility, a $1.76 billion project that will create 240 new positions in McCracken County and wages there about $62 an hour. Toothsure's plan to establish a new operation in Perry County. I guess that's in Perryville. Averett's plans to build a regional campus in Bullitt County. Green Energy Parks plan to locate a new $142 million ag waste-to-energy facility in Arlington. And then Armor IMAC plans to expand its Boone County operation with $6 million. So all those confined to January 1st through March 31st. The Department of Fish and Wildlife has reported that hunters harvested a record 36,439 turkeys during the 2026 spring hunting season here in the Commonwealth. Sam, how many of those did you bag?
Well, how many did the judge run over? That's probably the better question, I guess. Or
His number
did his car?
His number is 1, I think. I don't know that it's any higher than that. Maybe. I don't know. He might have taken a turkey or at some point in time. You could do it at the bowling alley. Isn't that when you get 3 strikes in a row? Isn't that called a
Yeah,
turkey?
that is a turkey, yeah.
Okay, so you can get turkeys.
Is there even a bowling alley anywhere near us?
multiple ways? Sure, there's got to be one in. I know there's one in Bowling Green for sure, but I don't know otherwise. So yeah, that sounds like a big number. 36,439 spread across
does.
120 counties. That seems like
I would have no idea.
a big number. I mean, I'm just trying to picture that many turkeys in my mind in one singular place.
like a lot of birds.
That would be a lot of birds.
Big
The-
bird.
You thought they could fly?
As God is my witness. 2026 Cougar tennis season came to an end yesterday in the opening rounds of the state tournament at Buchanan Park and Bowling Green. Carter Bernard and Miles Mudd fell to their opponents from Paducah Tillman 5-7 and 6-7 after nearly 2 hours of play. Yes, I said 6-7. Ava Walker won her first round match against the 5th Region singles runner-up Addison McFall from Barron County. She lost her first set, but then stormed back to take the match 5-7 to 6-0, 10-4 to advance to the second round. This was her second time making it to the round of 32. She was defeated in the second round, though, by second-seeded Poole from South Warren. She won both sets and didn't pick up a game in either of those, so the Cougar tennis season in the books for 2026. The Gonzaga and Kentucky have mutually agreed to end their basketball series with one another. I think it was like they agreed to a 6-year deal 4 years ago, and they're kind of 3 years into it.
They're 4 years into it.
They're 4 years into it, and they've each agreed that it's not in their best interest to continue it. What do you think is the real reason, Sam?
I don't know. I don't really
read
know
anything
that there
into it?
is any. I mean, a lot of it goes into like tournament seeding too, where you get punished sometimes for playing those games now. Whereas if you play a team that's really bad, you don't get it. It's just political for it. But then also after 4 years, I think 4 years is long enough to play a series
I agree. So they played
without it being obviously like a rival.
Yes, without a doubt. I guess I thought at 4 years ago, I guess I thought that this was a good idea, but I would have thought Kentucky would have fared better in the series than they've ended up doing. And so at one point in time, I would have told you that Gonzaga needed Kentucky more than Kentucky needed Gonzaga, but that's not bared out to be true because we just...
Well, I mean, Gonzaga's been a better program over the last 10 years than Kentucky has. It's not even remotely close.
That's 100% true, without a doubt. So I just thought that it was probably doing Gonzaga a favor, but as it turns out, it may have been doing us a favor as a result. Texas police are reminding residents that, quote, "we don't encourage your cars going into the water," end quote, after they say one Tesla Cybertruck owner did that very thing. Grapevine officers say Jimmy Jack McDaniel deliberately drove his Cybertruck down a boat ramp and into Grapevine Lake at 8 p.m. on Monday, telling police he wanted to try out the truck's wade mode. The vehicle reportedly flooded and stopped working, forcing McDaniel and a passenger to get out and leave it behind. Do you think he got Elon on the horn? And he said, "Hey, wait a minute. This wade mode doesn't work." Wonder what the threshold of the depth would be on wade mode.
crazy.
It didn't say
Not a
it had-
duck.
It didn't say it had float mode. It said it had wade mode. Those things look like they would float, without a doubt. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Barry Williams from ECTC's Litchfield campus joins us. We'll get caught up coming up here on In the Know.
For the second year in a row, Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center is one of America's top 100 rural hospitals. But in Grayson County, that's not really a surprise. Because in small towns, we share everything. The hospital where we were born, where we bring our families, just keeps proving what we already knew. Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center, top 100 care. Hometown heart.
Calling all patriots. Join us this May 23rd for a heartfelt tribute.
The Memorial Day procession and ceremony needs volunteers to honor our fallen heroes. Carry history from the fire station on South Main Street to the center on Main. Be there at 9:30 a.m. to help. The procession starts at 10 a.m., followed by a free lunch from Grayson County Fiscal Court.
Don't miss combat veteran Will Williford's powerful speech. Stand with us and make a difference while we celebrate America 250.
It takes courage to accept the need for a little help. What if help doesn't mean losing independence? At Beehive Homes of Grayson County, you get 24-hour assistance, but maintain freedom. Bring your car, come and go, and welcome visitors. You'll find organized activities that foster community. It's the gold standard of assisted living, the next best place to home. Discover peace of mind without hidden fees. Call today to arrange a tour. Beehive Homes of Grayson County, where home feels like home.
Feeling run down and tired? Life's stress can take a toll on your immunity, leaving you prone to illness. But there's a solution. At Pure Aesthetics and Wellness on West White Oak Street, we offer IV infusion therapy. It's a great way to boost your immunity and restore your energy levels. Don't let life's demands wear you out. Take a minute to rejuvenate with us. Visit our page on Facebook for more details or to schedule therapy. At Pure Aesthetics and Wellness, we help you feel your best.
Looking for a place to connect and make a difference? At the Moose Lodge, you'll be stepping into a place where children find hope and seniors find care. Experience the fun of gaming and drinks while socializing with other members in our licensed lounge. We are inviting qualified guests to visit and consider membership. Be part of something meaningful. The Grayson County Moose Lodge is at 289 Alex Drive in Falls of Rough, where community meets connection. Stop by or follow us on Facebook for more information.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education, close to home, at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now registering for classes that begin June 1st. Call 270-259-1540 or visit elizabethtown.actcs.edu to get started. ECTC, college for the real world.
Meta is telling its North American employees to work from home today. It's the day the company says it plans to lay off 10% of its workforce while shifting some 7,000 employees into new roles at the company. The job cuts come as Meta incorporates more artificial intelligence into its operations. The glowing green mirror ball logo that Spotify unveiled last week's been met with less than glowing reactions, and it will soon be going away. The company says it was meant to be a fun celebration of its first 20 years, connected with the Spotify 20-year Party of the Year's mobile-only in-app experience, offering a look back at music listening history. The White House is reportedly preparing a new executive order focused on AI oversight and cybersecurity. The proposal would encourage companies developing advanced AI systems to notify the government before public release of major new models. At the recent Google I/O conference, Google introduced Gemini Flash 3.5, its newest AI model aimed at powering faster and more capable AI assistants. The company also previewed Spark, an autonomous AI agent platform. Tech Report, I'm Tammy Trujillo.
Today is Wait Staff Day. Take good care of them. Today is Hummus Day. Today is Memo Day. I don't know if we memo anymore. I think we just maybe email or something more, or text or whatever. Barry Williams from ECTC's Litchfield campus joins us. Morning, Professor. Welcome back.
Good morning, Mark. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you.
How are y'all doing?
I was overjoyed to see you on Saturday at Art in the Park. You had a very important job.
I did. You know, it's kind of the lacuna moment for me. as an artist. I have an art degree, and I have been judged quite a bit through critique and having my artwork on display. But this was the first time I got to be on the other side of the aisle and serve as a judge, and it was quite the humbling experience.
Did you kept hearing the scripture in your head over and over, judge not lest you be judged? Did you feel some type of conflict?
I did, and since I've had my fair share of judging, I guess I've already been the lest you be judged. So now I felt like I was more qualified to do the judging.
I was impressed as I strolled through. Again, you all as the jury were going through and making your round, so I was working hard not to interfere with that. But I was really impressed with all the artisans and all the craftsmanship that I saw. Were there any that particularly stood out to you?
Oh my goodness. So a couple, it's hard to go through them all. They were all so impressive. The wood turners that were there, both of them had backgrounds in cabinet making, and the bowls that they spun, very different displays, but yet really cool. That I believe there was Ava who learned how to do ceramics through YouTube videos, which I found incredibly awesome. And I actually bought one of her ceramic dishes for my mother-in-law for her birthday as an early birthday present. Then of course there was the paintings and the drawings, and that's my wheelhouse. I'm a drawer and a painter. That's what my undergrad degree is in, is drawing and painting. So I felt better qualified to evaluate those. But there's the young lady who's from Grayson County High School who's got a oil painting that's going to be on display at Carnegie Hall. I mean, it was quite impressive. If folks are fans of the arts and they're not coming to Art in the Park, they're cheating themselves. They're really missing out on a golden opportunity.
We talked last week about how people that pursue endeavors in the arts, whether that's participating or enjoying, they are biologically younger than people who do not. And so it's even good for your health in order to do it. One thing before we move on, you were talking about, I know you mentioned Dorman, and then Wayne was there, Wayne Merriweather. Wayne had a very intricate, it was a sushi board. You probably saw it. It was a sushi board that had different types of wood inlaid, and it had a pattern, and it was beautiful. It had chopsticks that he had made as well, and so I was particularly impressed with it. Do you recall seeing that piece?
I believe I do. Yes, I do. And two things that stood out to me about both those guys is, one, the redemption story of finding rotten wood or wood that was without purpose, that would have just been left to decay, and then using it and giving it new meaning and beauty. I found that very profound. And then their ability, both of them showcased an ability to take what might be perceived as a mistake or something missing, a lacuna piece of that wood, and sister in something else or add another component and give it new depth. And it was like done on purpose. It's like they took a mistake and through intentionality gave it design and direction. And I love that. I love that.
I didn't know until I saw you sharing the Art in the Park information. Maybe I have forgotten this, but you mentioned your art degree. Your art degree came from Austin Peay?
You are correct. Yes, I have a bachelor's in fine arts in drawing and painting. Those are my concentrations. Got it from Austin Peay.
I didn't realize you had a connection to Austin Peay University, but I see you're wearing your ECTC gear today.
I am. I'm representing the Barons. I know we don't call ourselves the Barons anymore, but they were the Barons when I got hired, and they'll always be the Barons. So I went from being a Gov at Austin Peay to being a Baron at ECTC. Yeah.
Well, being at Art in the Park on Saturday gave me intentional reason to run by your campus and get a good look. I hadn't seen it in a while, maybe in months. I guess there's a chance, just because of the wintertime, there's not as much reason for me to go out there, to the park or to the aquatic center. But wow, that addition, that new addition and building on the campus is looking phenomenal.
It is. It's exciting. I went by the campus as well since I was that close. I got chased by the killdeer. We've got some killdeer that have made a nest in the gravel areas between the parking spots, and they have their eggs, and they are guarding them vehemently. So I didn't linger long in the parking lot, but I did look at the building, and it's in that fast phase right now. This is the exciting phase. Every time you drive by, there's a new layer, there's something new. It's like the laying the foundation phase and then the drying it in phase. Those are the slowest moments. But right now, it's the exciting times. Every time you drive by there, there's something new that's been added.
Well, and it's necessary and it's needed. We've known that for a while, but the reason that I mention it is because we had a story last week that we touched on briefly that said that last year total undergraduate enrollment increased by more than 10,000 students between the fall of 2024 and the fall of 2025. That's a 4.6% increase across public institutions for Kentucky. But it is a much bigger percentage growth for the KCTCS. So you're continuing to see huge growth in the number of people who are choosing KCTCS. And I think I read a 4.2% increase in certifications being given to those who are completing them with the KCTCS system.
It's exciting times. And I think it's just evidence that people are discovering how practical a degree and certificate that they can get through our college system is. And a lot of folks, they and I'm not knocking universities. We just talked about me being an Austin P alumni and actually taught there too. And I'm not knocking universities, but some people don't have the luxury of needing 4, 5, 6 years to get a degree and get started. They need something with some immediacy. And we can do that either through a diploma or certificate, which are quicker to obtain, or through an AAS degree, which is a terminal degree that leads to one of these technical professions. And so for your listeners that are thinking about college, I'll tell them the same thing I tell my students and my advisees is always choose the path that opens more doors than it closes. Choose a path that leads to opportunity. And right now, I think the writing is on the wall. The proof's in the pudding, as they say. In our enrollment is sort of a validation of that. And it's not just me. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that are working to make the degrees mean more than just a slip of paper that looks nice on a wall.
40 years ago, when the community college was still kind of segregated and it almost seemed like it was maybe even viewed or considered a consolation prize. Like, well, okay, you couldn't do this, but there is this. And that has just evolved over the last 40 years into there was segregation, and now there's integration, and now there's even blending between the two. And so watching this metamorphosis of our educational system over the last half century is very interesting. And where we get to eventually, it will be interesting to look back and see where we started and then where we are now over that time period.
It would be really interesting one of these days if you could get Sandra Kimberlane on here. She is a trooper. She is in the Robbins University Center and coordinates a lot of our transfers and transfer programs. And you talk about blending of the line. There's a program we're working on with the University of Louisville for an engineering degree. And then, of course, we've been partnering with Western for a while with the 2+2 program in education. So a lot of our students are seamlessly transferring to Louisville or to Western, and we're working with other colleges to offer other degree programs so that, it becomes a seamless transition. And a lot of that coursework is done at Elizabethtown on campus there. We'll see about getting that offered on some of our satellite campuses. I'm hopeful that can happen in the future. But I mean, how cool is that you get the university degree and you're doing it sometimes with community college tuition?
And what I love about it is that your approach to it, and I know for certain the Litchfield approach to it is needs-based. If a need is identified, whether it's an ASL class or whether it's choir or whatever it might be, you say, there's a niche here or there's a void that we can fill, and you all find a way to do it.
Yeah. I mean, needs-based communication, needs-based education, that's that practical component to an education through ECTC that you get. And I think as a community college system, we're a little bit more agile, which is saying something because colleges as a whole aren't usually very agile, but we tend to be a little bit more agile in adapting to the needs of the community. Like when I first started, I was hired to be primarily an online guy. Well, now a lot of what I do is dual credit, and who knows what the system is going to look like in 5 or 6 years as the pendulum's constantly swinging and things are constantly changing.
some of the timely information that I know our folks need. The summer term begins on June 1st, and we're still doing registration for that, but we better get on it.
Yeah, and I know somebody else who'd better get on getting his summer classes ready, because I've got two. I've got an English and a speech class that I'm still dragging my feet on updating, but they'll be ready by June 1st. They'll be ready.
The next day, June 2nd, I believe the summer nurses aid class begins.
Yeah, and that's going to be exciting, because our building is right now one part classroom space and one part storage for a lot of the equipment that's going into the new building that has to be ordered and delivered according to certain timelines so that it's ready to go into that new building by the start of fall. But there's still space, and there's physical space. I don't know if there's seats space for those nurses aid classes, but I know that it's going to be exciting and a busy time there this summer with those classes underway.
Part of the story that I was referring to about the growth in the system also talked about how students are borrowing less money than they once were. Unfortunately, 20 years ago, student loans were almost predatory in that they were just handing them out and you could spend it money on whatever you wanted. So people wasted the money, didn't have a degree, and now they're saddled with this debt. I think we've learned our lesson on that, but also we're borrowing less because of more FAFSA, more work ready, more scholarships, more just financial opportunities for kids to go to school or adults to go to school and not be saddled with debt.
Yeah. And not just the student loans, but also the credit card vendors. They would just be waiting in a row for new students to come on campus. And next thing you know, you're graduating and you've got more debt than you'll ever earn in income in that first year. And so FAFSA, there's people at campus that can help you get registered and apply for that 2627 FAFSA. My advice, of course, for anyone is to call ahead, make an appointment, to make sure you're not standing in line, and make sure that you can get scheduled for registration for the FAFSA and get all of that done so that you can get in school with minimal debt.
You mentioned 2 classes that you have. Do you have other summer plans that are worthy of noting?
We go every 2 years. We go to Jekyll Island, Georgia with my wife's family for it's kind of a vacation. It's kind of a family reunion. And my 15-year-old, she's testing for her permit here in a week because my father-in-law promised if she gets her permit, he'll let her drive her truck on the island. And so that's been something she's really excited and looking forward to.
So you go to Jekyll Island every 2 years?
Every 2 years, which Jekyll it's on the coastline of Georgia, which is really, really small. But pre-World War II, that's where a lot of the millionaires had their fishing cottages, these big 3-story tall mansions by anybody else's standards, and that's where they'd go for their retreat. So there's a lot of conspiracy theories and history surrounding the Jekyll Island Club. It's worth a deep dive.
In alternating years, then in the off years, do you go to Heckle Island?
That's just normal affairs here in the Williams household, right?
You dropped a word. You always bring us a word. You dropped a word, and I think that word is lacuna.
Lacuna. Yes, you guessed it.
Is that Lakuna?
Lacuna.
Lacuna. Okay, so I believe I know what this means.
All right.
I know that Hakuna Matata means no worries for the rest of your days. I believe lacuna must infer you have to worry yourself to death every day for the rest of your life.
Problem-free philosophy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, lacuna means it's a formal word that refers to a gap or a blank space. It's something missing.
Okay. So there are a lot of students these days that want to take a lacuna year.
Yes. Yep, a gap year, which I kind of discourage. And, always make decisions with purpose. If that gap year is to earn some money so that you come to school and be better prepared and do it without debt, if we want a lacuna of anything, we want a lacuna of debt.
Absolutely. Hey, great to catch up with you as always. And hopefully we'll keep in touch throughout the course of the summer.
Absolutely, Mark. Good to talk to you.
Thank you. That's Barry Williams from ECTC's Litchfield campus. Got to get to a break. Today's Did You Know is coming up here on In the Know.
Midway Pharmacy might not have the best selection of fashion accessories, and that's because they're much more interested in your health and less interested in whether or not you're stylish. At Midway Pharmacy, you're getting more than a pharmacy. You're getting a pharmacist who's committed to working with you on all things health-related. Rely upon the full team of pharmacists at Midway Pharmacy. Experience what matters the most when you visit any county-wide location of Midway Pharmacy.
Free parking? Yeah, right.
Dad, I got a drink.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What?
Sunscreen's free too.
Yeah, right.
This was the best day ever.
Yeah, you're right.
At Holiday World and Splash and Safari, sure, there are a lot of free things. And somehow, that's not even the best part. See it for yourself at holidayworld.com.
What if you could get access to GLP-1 weight loss treatments for just $39? With Selfie, you can access doctor-guided GLP-1 weight loss treatments and a personalized weight loss program for up to 80 to 90% less than name brand prices, 100% online, and the medication is delivered straight to your door. No long waits, no paying thousands out of pocket. Available with or without insurance. Just one simple way to get started. Text FAST to 797979 to see if you qualify. That's FAST to 797979.
This is the highlight of my morning. Hey, what's up? It's Island.
And I'm Josh.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit is that it's our go-to morning comfort.
And you've got that nice golden fluffy egg.
With a soft, flaky biscuit.
Crispy bacon.
Melty cheese.
You want something quick, you want something convenient, but most of all, you want something good.
There's no better way to start your morning.
There we go.
Start off the morning with a Chick-fil-A Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit with Simply Orange Juice. Order on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
You know, I heard that some people think a staycation is adventurous.
Staycation? That's just a fancy word for staying home.
Exactly. Why not set sail with your global getaway?
You mean like a cruise?
Yes. With Royal Caribbean, you can have weddings, honeymoons, even vow renewals at sea.
And no seasickness from staying on the couch.
Your global getaway. Adventure awaits on every wave. Connect on socials at Your Global Getaway or yourglobalgetaway.com and start planning today.
K105, weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team, is brought to you by Your Global Getaway. Start planning your adventure now at yourglobalgetaway.com.
Twin Lakes weather. We'll see some spotty showers still across the region for today, with highs in the 60s. For tomorrow, a better chance for showers and thunderstorms with highs in the low 70s. Some of those thunderstorms tomorrow could be on the stronger side. Heading into the Memorial Day weekend, we will keep some rounds of rain in our forecast. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
Don't miss the hottest songs in the country on American Top 40 this weekend. We check in with Olivia Rodrigo and hear about her highly anticipated third album, and Madonna and Sabrina Carpenter score a debut on the countdown with their collaboration. It all goes down this weekend on AT40.
But on the midnight watch, I realized why twice you ran away. Think about
Did you know? People born in May have the lowest risk of illness and disease, while those born in October have the highest.
It's my dad and brother.
Yeah, I know not why. My dad obviously born in May as well. So I don't know if it's a sliding scale between May and October. You would think there's then October to May. Like, where would you, if you're between May and October, how do you fare? If you're between October and May, how do you fare? Like, it would be interesting to see how that works itself out, to know. But I'm just happy I have a summer birthday. NBC has claimed its first TV season victory in total viewers since 2002. You know, in the 80s, NBC was the place to be. I mean, it was, and even into the 90s with, you had Seinfeld, you had must-see television. You had, whether it was the Cosby Show, during that era, and then you had the Seinfeld era, you had the Friends era. It was extremely popular. But they ended CBS's streak dating back to 2008, 2009. They averaged 5.83 million primetime viewers, up 14% from last season. CBS dropped second place with 4.63 million viewers, down 19%. So the victory came largely from the Super Bowl and the Winter Olympics.
I was going to say, they had both of them.
Yes. Sunday Night Football also remained television's top show, averaging 21 million viewers, so that helped.
No surprise.
ABC finished third, and then Fox at 3.41. The decline for CBS stemmed partly from resting major scripted series during January and February, which are typically high viewership months because people are inside. But because of playoff football and because of the Super Bowl and because of the Olympics, they said, we're resting our content and saving it for something else. So it will be interesting to see, absent the Olympics next year, if CBS jumps back on top, because they've still got
ABC gets their first Super Bowl in a long time this coming year.
Yep.
So their ABC and ESPN are taking it.
An update. I didn't tell you the story that there's a new biopic coming out about Billy Joel called Billy and Me. And I thought, we don't need this. We just had that huge documentary on HBO. We'll come to find out that Billy Joel has condemned the unauthorized biopic. They've been in some type of battle over whether it can come out or not. So thought that was interesting. I don't know if that makes me want to see it more or less. Like, oh, well, what does he not want us to know? And then I also, yesterday or day before, The Housemaid came up. We were discussing The Housemaid at home, that movie. It is being adapted for presentation on the stage. A stage adaptation of the psychological thriller The Housemaid is in development. It's it's Frida McFadden who wrote the novel. But wasn't the novel written a while ago? Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's been used various ways. But Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried were in the most recent version. And now it's that film has grossed $400 million worldwide since it came out around Christmas, and it will be coming to the stage. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. MB's Point to Ponder, Pearl of Wisdom, Chart Toppers, and more coming up here on In the Know.
In the Mission District of San Francisco, a symbol for strength and resilience hides in plain sight. Some people overlook it because it's not a statue, a building, or a sculpture. It's a fire hydrant, but this is no ordinary fire hydrant. This hydrant saved thousands of lives in the great San Francisco earthquake of 1906. The quake, estimated to be 7.9 on the Richter scale, toppled buildings, broke gas lines, and set nearly 80% of the city on fire. It also ruptured most of the water mains, which left firefighters with virtually no water to battle the flames. But that one hydrant stood strong, and the water it supplied allowed firefighters to save a working-class neighborhood of single-family homes. To this day, over 100 years later, fire officials and local residents still gather every year on April 18th, the anniversary of the quake. In a special ceremony, they give the hydrant a fresh coat of gold paint as a reminder of the city's resilience and the enduring spirit of its people. That's the power of symbols. They're icons that point us to something deeper about life. An American flag is a symbol of freedom, a wedding ring the covenant of marriage, a cross or Jewish star, emblems of religious faith. At a glance, symbols carry us beyond the mere facts of life to the transcendent values that give life meaning. For Focus on the Family, I'm Jim Daly.
The following is a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
When I was feeling the stress of too much credit card debt, I looked at two different options: debt settlement and debt management. They may sound the same, but guess what? They're not. Debt settlement seemed like a quick fix, but I found out it would destroy my credit, create tax headaches, and hit me with huge fees. They actually told me to stop paying my bills. No way, not me. Then I turned to a debt management plan developed by the team at Trinity. They worked with my creditors, lowered my payments, reduced my interest, saved me thousands, and paid off my debt. And Trinity is a Christian company, which is important to me.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-936-5348.
My name is Heather. Please forget debt settlement and remember Trinity Debt Management.
1-800-936-5348.
MB's Point to Ponder for today. If you were paid $10,000 to watch one movie 100 times, what movie would you choose? And it has to be consecutively. You have to watch it 100 times in a row. You don't have to stay up. 24 hours a day to watch it 100 times, but it can be all you watch 100 times.
That sounds horrible.
Yes, it does. But if you had to pick one,
I immediately go to Clue or Home Alone. So
Clue or Home Alone. Interesting. I went to some of my, my old favorites, but there are some that the odometer is high enough on them already that I go, do I want to add 100 times to that? It's like
Step Brothers or something. I don't know. The
Probably
Hangover.
Ooh, the Campaign.
in that genre. I think The Campaign for me might be the one. Or could I be strategic and say, okay, find the shortest movie I like? Like, could I go to IMDb and sort by run times and then say, okay, of the 100 shortest films that would be considered movies, which one would be the shortest, and then choose that one to get through it faster?
What about the Litchfield Christmas movie?
It's going to.
You're in that.
You're going to have to put more zeros behind that one.
But you're a star of that, are you not?
Yes, but he didn't even get an IMDb page out of the deal.
Well, you know somebody that has an IMDb page. Old Yukon.
I do, and he's done nothing to warrant it. He was like an extra in an Andy Griffith thing.
Well, I think he's still getting his residuals off of it.
He's getting his residuals all right.
Getting his Diet Mountain Dew at the gas station. He's keeping that open.
Absolutely. He must have an influencer deal.
Mm.
That's what I'm. We're really inside baseball here for people who don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah. One of these days this summer, you'll have to try to get him back. See if he'll make his return.
I've made that thought has crossed my mind a couple of times.
But I know he's big time now. So.
Oh yeah, he's highfalutin. The final the Late Show, at least this incarnation, is tonight. I don't think I will watch it. I considered it. I was like, should I watch the last one? I was like, nah. I don't watch it on the.
He's not getting the Pope on. I know that was his goal, right?
Oh, he was trying to get the Pope. No,
that was his goal for his, because they asked him like, who do you want as your, like, is there a guest you really want? And he says, since it's an American Pope and I'm a Catholic, I would love to have the Pope.
Yeah, that would make sense. Da Pope. George and Mandy's First Marriage season 2 finale on CBS. Elsbeth season 3 finale is on CBS. The NHL, Canadiens at Hurricanes, and the NBA, Cavaliers at Knicks. So we'll see how that goes tonight. Today's highlight in history, this date in 1881, the American Red Cross was founded by Clara Barton in Washington, D.C. Well, Dr. Thomas to you. Charles Lindbergh landed the Spirit of St. Louis, this date in 1927. Amelia Earhart became the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic, this date in 1932. They both took off on yesterday's highlights in history. Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus closed out their 146-year run this date in 2017. Baseball manager Bobby Cox is 85. Ronald Isley is 85. Leo Sayer is 78. Mr. T is 74 and still pitying fools at a very high level. And don't you forget it. Judge Reinhold is 69 today, and Sam's favorite NFL quarterback, Josh Allen, is 30 today. Arm & Hammer.
I have nothing against him.
No, he's a good guy. Seems like a good guy. 1898. He's just not your favorite quarterback, I presume.
No, that quarterback is already will turn 30 later this year.
Oh, yeah. Raymond Burr, born in 1917, and the Notorious B.I.G., born this date in 1972. Chart toppers for today. I think it's a song you're going to at least know of from 1949.
Riding out one dark and windy day. Upon a ridge he rested as he
This song gets called Ghost Riders in the Sky, but is actually titled Riders in the Sky.
Of red-eyed cows he saw plowing through the ragged
Ghost Riders in the Sky. Sam, did you know that song? Have you ever heard that song?
I really wasn't paying that close of attention. I usually just don't, when it gets on the older ones, it's just kind of in one ear, out the other.
Johnny Be Good, Chuck Berry. I mean, to go from Ghost Riders in the Sky, or Riders in the Sky, to Johnny Be Good, like that's a big leap musically in 10 years. 67, Aretha. Sock it to me, sock it to me, sock it to me, sock it to me.
You know I got it. All I'm asking is for a little respect when you come home. Hey, baby.
All right, let's go to 1976. Wings. Paul's struggling. He was on SNL the other night, like he's losing some of his timber. Like he's still trying very hard. Still got like the drive to do it, but vocally.
I mean, how old is he? 80?
Yeah, he's 80. Rod Stewart's also 80. He says
He'll be 84 next month.
He'll be 84. Yeah, he's. It crosses my mind from time to time. I think, what's the world going to be like? Like when he goes. Not what the world is going to be like after that. I'm just saying, like the celebration, the tribute. This Big Mountain #1 in '94. All right, Rock Your Body, Justin Timberlake in 2003 was the #1. In 2012, Flo Rida and Sia were #1 with Wild Ones. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says, your greatest test will be how you handle who mishandled you. Your greatest test will be how you handle who mishandled you. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
The Twin Lakes Best Mix is WKHG, Litchfield. The Twin Lakes